Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to Queen Ahmadiyyah TV, More Than Meets the Third Eye. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already and you enjoy the commentary. Don't forget to click the notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time I go live. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at QueenAhmadiyyah.Shakur. You can follow the Queen Ahmadiyyah.Shakur fan page and follow me on Twitter at DGoddess27. Hello, Cherokee, Descendant Dale, Kathy B, Silent D, T. Woodard, Howard, Gail, A.V. the Great, Woke One, Ladybug, Emperor Rex. Okay, shout out to everyone in the chat and everyone tuned into the Queen. Okay, so let's get into it. Hello, Silent D, Sonia, We the People, Desmond. Okay. All right, hello, Aeon, Queen Shay, a Ladybug. So let's get into it. So I have a PowerPoint presentation I'm going to be sharing with you, talking about how to unlock your human potential. Okay, so let me go ahead and put that up on the screen. Everyone, please come in giving this video a like and a share if you could be so kind, all right? Try to share it with at least 3 to 5 people. Hello, dark-skinned brother, okay? Wavy, though. I see you, beloved. Okay, here we go. Okay, hey, Nicole. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Unlock your true human potential. Now, what is human potential? Human potential is the innate ability of every person to live and perform in alignment with their highest self. It is a combination of both outer work and inner work. Like I tell you, you always have to do the work. You have to work on yourself inside and out. When you're working on the outer part of yourself, that would include things like physical, making sure you have a proper diet, eating healthy, listening to constructive criticism, being able to learn and listen when people are trying to teach you things that can potentially benefit you in the future and as you try to reach your goals and dreams. Inner work, well, we all know what that is. You have to work on the inside of yourself, the core of your very being. Now, the journey and the goal. Human potential is a unique journey in the sense that both the journey and the goal are the same point. Ask yourself what path you should take. The path that leads to self-awareness, self-discipline, and self-love is a good place to start. Understand that this journey requires determination and dedication. You'll need to bring inspiration and motivation with you as well. I mean, how can you reach goals and dreams, and how can you rise into your true self and unlock your untapped human potential if you are not inspired, right? Doing it in spirit, from the spirit, and if you're not motivated, if you don't have the need or the desire to actually unlock this potential. Now, the hierarchy of needs. Abraham Maslow is considered to be the father of human potential and self-actualization research. In his well-known hierarchy of needs, he hypothesized that all human beings strive towards self-actualization, but we are unable to move towards our higher selves if certain foundational needs are not met. These include safety, security, and connection with others. But once we feel supported, connected, physically and psychologically safe, we're able to take risks. It's the only way for us to reach our full potential. Let me tell you something. If you're not willing to take risks, if you're not willing to put in hard work, if you're not really willing to understand that sometimes you are going to fail, if you are not willing to accept that things don't always just fall in your lap and that you have to be patient, but you also have to be consistent and you have to not become complacent. If you can't realize those things, you are very unlikely to reach your true human potential, because you first have to know that you have it within you, that you have more potential within you that you haven't unleashed, right? And you have to work and focus on how to allow what's inside of you to come out. Now, self-actualization, achieving one's full potential, including creative activity. And then you have esteem, prestige, and feeling of accomplishment. Esteem is very important, and I always tell you that you should be more concerned about what you think of yourself, because at the end of the day, that's why it's called self-esteem. Most, or not most, but some people spend much of their time concerned about what other people think of them. If you spend your life trying to please other people, you will fall short, because you can't please everybody, because everybody has their own perception of success, of failure, of what's right and what's wrong. People have different ideologies, so you can never please everyone else, though you try. And so the best thing to do is to try to please yourself and the Most High. And when you are doing things, ask yourself, would the Most High be pleased with this work, with this effort that I have put in? Develop your human potential. Developing your human potential requires a whole person approach. You have to work on your physical well-being as well as your inner self. Taking care of your physical self includes exercising, eating foods that increase your concentration and energy, and as well as your energy, getting the proper amount of sleep, and drinking enough water. You should be drinking every day, and I know this may not be easy for some people to do, especially those of you who drink alcohol, who drink Kool-Aid, sodas, sweet tea, lemonade. Those of you who drink those things, sweetened juices that are artificial. I'm not talking about organic juices made of real 100% fruit. I'm talking about those of you who don't, have enough water intake, right? It's very detrimental to you when you're not doing so. You should be drinking half of your body weight. If you weigh 160 pounds, you should be drinking at least 80 ounces of water per day. Remember, the body is largely composed of water. Unlock your potential. Now, here are some things that you can do to help you unlock your potential. Never doubt your ability. First of all, you need to be self-assured. Believe in yourself. Have faith in yourself. Positive thinking, as well as affirmation. Dedication to self. Dedicate. Say that you are going to do the work. Make a conscious effort to follow through with what you say and what you're thinking, and be disciplined. Setting goals, reaching them, disciplining yourself, motivation, hard work, and focus. Always give 100%. Proper diet and rest. Elevating your consciousness, self-care, giving your best effort in all your endeavors. Able to adapt to situations. Understanding the power of I am. Remember, I told you, whatever you say after I am is absolutely what you become. It's what you will manifest. And never give up. How can you do anything if you just quit? If you just stop? You don't try to follow through. No one knows everything. So learn something new each day. Be able to accept good advice, willing to learn and to be taught. Some people think they know everything, so you can't teach them anything. And there's only a fool who thinks they know everything, because we should all be constantly learning, growing, changing, and evolving as the days go by. I have always, since I was a kid, tried to learn something new every day, because there is never too much knowledge. And I feel that we never can have enough knowledge. We should always be trying to find new things and learn new things. Be able to accept good advice, willing to learn and be taught. able to overcome obstacles. Be fearless. Be true to who you are. Don't be easily deterred. Some people just give up really quick. They don't have they're not relentless. They don't have the tenacity that allows them to follow through with things that they start. Some people get discouraged quickly. Someone can come and say something to them, and that's discouraging, and they'll allow that to get into their mind so much so that they can't see past it. Never allow your ego to guide you. Be humble. Never become complacent. Never accept defeat. You will fail sometimes, and sometimes you will lose, but don't accept defeat, because if you accept it, you're never going to do anything different. You can always make a comeback. If you don't succeed, then you just try again. Manifestation is key. Rise into your higher self. You have to unlearn and then relearn. Be willing to let go of some of the lies you've been fed. Search for solutions rather than dwelling on problems. Don't just sit idly by focusing and thinking about problems that you have, because thinking about problems leads to worry, anxiety, stress, sometimes fear. And when you just focus on the problem still persists. The only way you will get rid of the problem, solve the problem, is to be actively searching, looking for ways to solve it, looking for solutions. Be authentic. Know your weaknesses. Know your strengths. Be authentic is very important, because there's a lot of fake people. There are a lot of people who suffer from what I call identity crises. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they are. They don't know what they have inside of them. And if they don't know who they are and what they are and what's inside of them, then they can't let the truth of themselves come out. And what they often do is they try to mimic, imitate, or act like other people that they may admire, or people who are popular. They may try to use other people's talking points as if they're their own. This is what a lot of people do. Some people use my talking points. Now, if you are sure about who you are and sure about your abilities, and you are living true to yourself, then you are authentic. But when you are, telling lies about yourself, trying to embellish things, trying to make yourself seem larger than life, acting as if you're just, perfect, or you're so good and everybody else is beneath you, well, you're absolutely not being authentic. You're being fake. First of all, no one's perfect. No one is perfect. We all have flaws. We all fall short of the glory of God. And so there's always work to be done. And one thing that a very intelligent man told me years ago is there's always room for improvement. And that's absolutely true. You can always be doing better. I don't care how good you're doing. You can always be doing better. No matter how much you know, you can always learn more. That's why I say try to learn something new every day, because there's always room for improvement. Know your weaknesses. If you have weaknesses, here's what some people do. Some people like to focus on their weaknesses, and they feel like if I'm not good in this area, I'm going to keep working and working until I get better. Well, that's a good idea, and that's a good thing to do. But even more importantly than focusing on your weaknesses, you simply just need to know your weaknesses. You can't do everything in life. Everything you do is not going to be for you. Some of those things will be your weak spots. And I don't suggest that you focus so much so on them. Now, if you choose to focus on weaknesses to improve them, that's fine. But I wouldn't spend a great majority of my time trying to focus on weaknesses, because what I like to do is I like to focus my thoughts and energy and efforts on my strength. You see, if you focus on your strengths, then they become even stronger. And when you focus on your strengths, that is how you reach your true potential. Your true potential is not found in your weaknesses. Your true potential is found in your strength. Okay? Thank you, First Sergeant Dobie, beloved. So your true, authentic self and your full human potential is found when you focus on your strength. Meditation. I talk to you often about meditating. It's very important. It is very important to meditate because it not only relaxes the mind, but it helps you to stay focused. It helps you to gain discipline, and it helps you to be able to concentrate so that you can do the work. The practice of meditation is not new. In fact, it has ties to ancient Egypt. Your ancient Commission ancestors came up with meditation. But because of the wellness industry's increasingly mainstream attention, there is science behind the positive results of a consistent meditation practice. Essentially, think of meditation as part of your self-care toolkit. It is a way to achieve balance, clarity, and calm. It can help you reduce stress, improve your focus, and sleep better too. All of these things are essential in reaching your true human potential. Transcendental meditation. How many of you practice transcendental meditation? This is what I do. This form of meditation involves silently repeating a mantra for 15 to 20 minutes a day, and is commonly done sitting with the eyes closed. It is one of the most widely practiced meditation techniques. This is what I do. And you can chant the word Om, O-M, right? And when you chant the word Om from the diaphragm up through the throat chakra, you'll feel the vibration. And as you feel that vibration, you will feel your own vibration rising. If you could take a little time out of each day to do this, you don't have to do it for 15 to 20 minutes. In fact, if you can only do it for 5 to 10 minutes, but whatever time you can take to do this, please try it. Break the ties that bind you. Break the barriers of your limitations. Many people limit themselves. They say that there's only so much I can do. I can't do this because of this. We allow people to put obstacles in front of us. Sometimes we actually put obstacles in front of ourselves. Sometimes we are fearful of things that we want to try. And the reason we're fearful is not because of the act itself, but we're simply fearful because we are afraid to fail. You cannot be afraid to fail. Failure is just part of the progress. Failure is just part of the journey. You fail and then you succeed. So never feel like you can't do something, or something is too hard, or you don't have the things that you need, the tools that you need to achieve your goals. You don't have the tools that you need or the wherewithal to achieve your dreams, because you have all of these things. Everything that you want and need is right inside of you. And I tell you all that every day for a reason, because the main thing holding us back very often, in fact, most of the time with most people, the main thing holding them back is themselves. People can say negative things, but that's not what's holding you back because someone said something negative. What's holding you back is that you took the negative things that they said to heart, and you allowed it to penetrate the inner part of yourself. You allowed it to take away some of your positive energy and to replace it with negative energy. That's what you did. So even though people say things to discourage you, or they say things to hurt you, or they say things to hinder you, at the end of the day, the only time and the only way those things work is if you allow them to. You see, I don't allow people to knock me off course. I don't allow people to distract me from what I have to do. You see, in fact, I can't be distracted. I am so serious. And the reason I can't be distracted is because I know what I'm here to do. I also have the ability to multitask. And I also think about my own thoughts. And what I do is I don't stay inside of a box, and I don't limit myself. My potential, in my opinion, is endless, because I know, I don't think, but I know that anything that I put my mind to, And anything that I decide that I want to do, and anything that I focus my energy, efforts, and thoughts on, I know that I can achieve those things. It's just a matter of time. But I'm patient and I don't mind waiting. Some things in life, we can do them in a sprint, but there are other things in life that they'll be a marathon. Slow and steady wins the race. And so sometimes you have to pace yourself. But as you're doing these things, you have to stay focused on the goal. You have to have self-love, self-care, and you have to inspire yourself as well as you're inspired by others who are around you. And you have to also surround yourself with like-minded people who have your best interest and their own best interest in mind. And if someone doesn't have their own best interest in mind, then trust and believe they don't have your best interest in mind. If someone doesn't care about themselves, then trust and believe they don't care about your inner self. There are some people who just don't want to try to do anything. They're always pessimistic. They don't want to change. They don't want to try to achieve any types of goals. They have become complacent and they are happy with where they are, even though it doesn't look like that's a good place to be. They have become happy with that. They have become accepting of it. Some people can't adapt to change. You have to be able to adapt to your surroundings in any given situation. You have to learn to adapt to your surroundings. Know how to survive in different elements of places and spaces. And with that all being said, yes, Reggie says psychic vampires. Absolutely. You have to stay away from psychic vampires. Okay? They will deplete you of energy. They will drain you. They will say nothing but negative things. They will put all of their negativity on you. They will give you all of their problems and then want you to find the solution rather than doing the work themselves. And you know that old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Well, you can sit there and try to figure out other people's problems and issues for them if you'd like. But more likely than not, that's not going to help them in the end, because changing and evolving starts with their own mind, not with yours. And now you can encourage them, you can motivate them, you can inspire them, but you must also remind them that they have to start with themselves. Just as God helps those who help themselves, so should you. If someone is not helping themselves, if they're not trying to do the work, then I suggest you don't waste much time on them. Now, I see people a lot of times, they're not trying to do anything to help themselves. And so the first thing I do is I have a talk with them. And so I try to motivate them. And I try to get them to change their way of thinking. I try to get them to realize that you don't have to stay stuck in these problems. You don't have to stay where you are. All you have to do is put one foot forward. Slowly but surely, things can change if you start moving forward. Stop standing still. If you start doing rather than just talking. Now, I'll tell them these things, and then I'll sit back and wait to see if they start to do anything, if they start to do anything different, if they seem to be motivated or encouraged to do better. And if I see that they don't, I'm not going to waste any more time. Now, I only want you to tell me your problem once. After that, we should absolutely be discussing solutions. That's what I always tell you all. I don't need to hear about your problems 10 times. I don't need to hear about your problems every time I talk to you. Because many people say, oh, but I have a whole bunch of problems. Yes, we do have lots of problems sometimes. But here's the thing. Many of the problems that people have start with the same root cause. And that root cause is negativity. Some people don't know how to rise, how to pull themselves up out of negativity. Some people don't know how to stay away from negative people. And some people feel obligated, as I've said before, to continue to deal with these negative people. Well, my question is, and the question you should be asking yourself, is how do you live a positive life and rise into your higher self and reach your full human potential if you're dealing every day on a consistent basis, if you're surrounding yourself on a regular with negative people. Because energy, lest we forget, is absolutely contagious. Energy is contagious. And so before I close out, I'll just give you an example. And I've given you this example before. If you walk into a room and everyone is laughing and smiling and happy and upbeat, and they seem to be having a good time, and you walk into the room and they're smiling at you, and they're looking as if they're glad to see that you showed up, you feel happy, upbeat, and high vibration. But if you walk into a room and everybody's angry and fussing and there's a lot of chaos and, pandemonium going on, and everyone's just upset and all that negativity, when you walk in that room, you're going to feel the same way they feel. Now, you may not believe that, but pay attention the next time you encounter something like that, because energy is absolutely contagious. Have you ever seen someone and they may look at you with disgust, like turn up their nose, or they may look like they get upset when you come around, or because of something you said, they get angry, or they look as though they're annoyed. And when you notice them reacting that way, then don't you also feel angry or annoyed? Like, what the hell are they looking at me like that for? What did I do? Oh, they don't like what I said. Energy is contagious. Trust and belief. So if you surround yourself on a consistent basis with negative people, you will absolutely have a negative outcome because their energy is transferred onto you. So the best thing to do, and I know that we encounter negative people every day, all day, right? Not all day, but we encounter negative people every day. But the thing is, you don't have to engage these negative people. Some people try to, trigger you to get you upset on purpose. Stay away from them. Some people try to tell you all of the BS that's going on in their life. Their problems are so much and they want to talk about it to you. Listen to them. Give them advice, if you will. But after that, don't allow them to come back to you every time they have a problem and expect you to fix it. Let me tell you something that happened to me once. When I was in college and I was working, doing security, and I tell you all many of these security stories because that was like really an interesting job for me when I was in college. I met lots of interesting people, and I worked doing corporate security, and it was always very interesting. But one thing that I recall is there was a lady who worked there, and she really didn't know me very well. She walked up and gave me her phone number and asked me for mine. And so I gave it to her, and she said she was going to call me that weekend. Well, she called me, and she starts telling me all these problems. Now, I don't even know this lady. Like I said, I'm not her best friend. I'm not her confidant. I didn't even really understand at first why she chose me to tell all these things to. See, that's how we're not really close. I found out later. Well, this woman called me and she was talking about her children's father, was saying that she was unattractive and that she was not a good mother because she missed the doctor's appointment she was supposed to take the children to because she had to work late. She was just telling me all of these problems. And so I told her, I said, well, listen, I said, maybe your children's father is just upset because you're no longer with him. Maybe he has some issues that he's going through. And so maybe he's trying to project that onto you. I said, you should not be so concerned about what he thinks. Okay? I said, first of all, you're not unattractive. All right? And if you were to him, then why did he have children with you? Did you ever think about that? And because you missed a doctor's appointment for your children, that doesn't make you a bad parent. A lot of times people can't get off work. We have things to do. And we have to postpone things. That doesn't make you a bad mom. So I told her all of this, right? Trying to encourage her. The next time she called me, which was a couple of days later, she's telling me the same thing pretty much and telling me even more things that are going wrong in her life. So again, I tried to motivate her. She called me again and again, and each time it was always a sad song. It's always, something she wanted to whine and complain about. So I started getting tired because I found myself, who's usually upbeat and happy, I found myself when I'd get off the phone with her, I would be so drained and so low vibrational. And I was asking myself, why did this lady pick me to tell me all these problems? I don't even really know her. And then I realized she's a psyche vampire. You see, the reason she picked me It's because when she saw me at work, I'm always happy and laughing. Everyone always wants to talk to me. Not only the other, my coworkers, the other security officers, but people that worked in the building, right? Lawyers who worked there, okay, engineers who worked there. All of these people would stop and talk to me at various times throughout, the week when I'm there. And I was always making people laugh, and I'm always talking, and people like to interact with me. And so, with that all being said, she saw a light in me, and she was full of darkness, and darkness is always attracted to light. So, when people have all of this depressed feelings and thoughts inside of them, when they're full of negativity, they look for people who are full of positivity, and they want to come and put their negativity upon you. And then that brings you down. And so I quickly realized why she chose me to tell these things too. So I waited for her to call again because I knew that she would. And I also knew that when she called again, she would be saying something that was negative. And so when she called me, you know what I told her that next time? I said, listen, I'm a positive person. I always try to look at the glass as half full rather than half empty. And I know and understand that we have problems, but I try to find solutions. I don't like to keep talking about problems day in and day out. At some point, it's not going to, it's not going to change. So at some point, you have to say, what am I going to do about it? Talking about problems consistently all the time, that's not going to help you solve them. That's going to keep them right there because you're focusing your energies on it. And as you focus your energy and thoughts on things, you manifest things. So you're manifesting these problems. That's why they're going to stay there and you'll continue to have them. Now, the only way to get rid of these problems is to actively seek solutions, to focus your thoughts and energy on finding solutions. And that's how you get rid of them. So here's what I want you to do, beloved. This is what I told her. I want you to not call me anymore again until, and only until, you have something positive to say about yourself, your life, your circumstances, and the type of mother you are to your children. Now, if you don't have anything positive to say, then please don't call me because I don't mesh well with negative people. And this, in fact, is a no whining zone. So she didn't call me for almost a month. She didn't call me for almost a month. I would see her at work and she would speak and I would speak and we would be cordial. But she didn't call me for almost a month. And then when she finally did call me, she wasn't talking about any of her problems. She was telling me about how well things were going in her life. And I was glad to hear it, for one. But for two, I was even more glad that I didn't have to feel bogged down and by listening to her negativity, and that I didn't have to feel, as if I owed it to her to help her find a solution. Because that's what some of these people want you to do. They want you to feel responsible for helping them to find a solution. It's not my job to find solutions to your problems. It's your job to find solutions to your problems. I have my own problems, and I don't expect anyone to fix them other than myself. I can't sit there and wait for someone else to fix my problems and issues. If I sat there and waited for someone else to fix them, I'd still be waiting. This lady didn't want to do the work. That's just what it was. She didn't want to do the work. And she had low self-esteem. It's not my job to make sure you have high self-esteem and that you feel good about yourself. I will encourage you and motivate you if I can. I'll try to, so that you get to the place where you feel more, positive about yourself. When you get to I will try to help you get to the point that you feel that you can change your circumstances. But before you change your circumstances, you have to change your mind. You have to change the way you think. And so until you can do that, you'll be stuck in a rut. And so that's what some people don't understand. 100% Black Ray Oak said, go walk off the edge of that cliff. Okay? And so with that all being said, Inspired by Nature says, I personally believe she felt she could no longer talk with you as a friend. I believe everyone needs a clinical therapist or do clinical talk therapy. Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to say everyone needs a clinical therapist. I don't think everyone needs a clinical therapist. I think that some people need clinical therapy because they don't understand the inner part of themselves, and they don't understand the power of I am, and they don't understand the power of positive thinking. They don't understand how to manifest. They don't understand the art of visualization. They don't understand universal laws. They don't understand the power of prayer. But prayer doesn't just bring you the things you want unless you believe that what you're praying for will come to fruition. If you're praying with a pessimistic mind thought and mind frame, your prayers are not going to be answered. I've told you all before, if you raise your level of consciousness and realize that you are your own God within yourself, that the Most High God lives within you, dwells within you, that's why we say the kingdom of God is within you, because it actually is. The kingdom, dome meaning head, the kingdom. A king wears a crown, the crown chakra, the Most High. The Most High lives within you. So with that all being said, you can answer your own prayer. You can answer your own prayers. But if you answer your own prayers, you have to know all of these things. You have to know the Most High. You have to be in tune with the Most High, with nature, the universe. You have to have a spiritual connection to the Most High. You have to understand the cosmos. You have to understand inspiration in spirit, meaning in spirit. You have to understand what dwells within you. The power is within you. You have to learn how to harness that power and make it useful and beneficial in your life and in your circumstances. You have to learn how to evolve. You have to learn how to change your way of thinking, and you have to learn how to do the work for all of these things to fall in place. And with that all being said, I really don't think that everyone needs clinical therapy, but some people do. And for those that feel that you do, you should absolutely get it. Some people need life coaching. Some people need clinical therapy. Some people just need a little bit of motivation. Okay, so with that all being said, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure especially that you like and share the video. Very important that you like and share these videos, and I really appreciate it. And I hope that I helped someone today. And so as you go out into the world, try to stay in a positive state of mind, because being positive helps you to be happy. And when you are happy, you're in good spirits. And when you're in good spirits, that's when you have the power, more of the power to manifest. You have the power to manifest when you are happy, in tune with yourself, and you are high vibrational. So with that all been said, I wish you all love, peace, and prosperity. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. And make sure that no matter what you're doing throughout the day, that you take a little bit of time to focus on your inner self, self-care. And you take some of that time to do the work. With that all being said, I wish you all love, peace, and prosperity. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. And I will talk to you all again soon.